It was a long driveway to the house. The entrance, there was quite a big area for fruit trees. And then on the other side of the fruit trees, there was rows and rows of strawberries. Dad had 20 acres. Most of it was strawberry fruits, and he used to crate them and ship them out. I was born in 1928. I was the oldest. I used to follow Dad around all over, apparently. When he'd go out in a clearing to clear land, I remember going out there one time, got a hatchet, tried to chop an alder tree down, but it was icy. It slipped on my knee, and I cut my knee, and it's actually left a scar. In our situation, we were told on whatever day we were leaving, they would come pick us up. So they did. They told us that we could only take a suitcase and a clothes on our back. And when we were traveling into Sandon, we'd never seen high mountains. As a kid, I remember I was so scared. I thought, where are they taking us to? Going through a narrow valley, high mountains on both sides. As a kid, I could remember I was very scared. People from Japan, they sent us gifts to the firstborn. I remember a 3-foot Japanese doll dressed in the kimono and everything, and I really treasured that. I really wanted to bring it with me, of course, but we couldn't bring anything like that. So Mom put it upstairs in the attic. When we found out later that the whole property was confiscated and everything, I remember I cried. I knew I couldn't get that doll. It was a treasure to me as a kid. We had 3.5 miles to walk to school, and there were farmers all along the way. This one farmer, when he seen us coming, he opened up his gate, and he let his bull out. I remember that so distinctly because this bull chased after me. I ran all the way to school. All the other kids ran too, of course, and I found out later why he was chasing after me is because I had a red coat on. We just had to drop out because they used to be really mean to us that I could remember. We lived on top of quite a steep hill. Some of the younger boys built a toboggan, held about 8 to 10 people on this toboggan. And on the other side of us, we had nuns for the high school teachers. This one sister, Sister Camille, her name was, she could see us having fun. She was young herself. She had all these regalia on, and she wanted to get on it. She got on with the other boys and took off down the hill, and the toboggan flipped over, knocked them all down. Well, her headgear flew off. I can remember that. Sandon closed, so everybody was moved out in 1945. Well, when we moved to Harrison's Ranch, we were given half a house, even for 8 of us, half a house. But there were so many of us that they had built a lean-to for us, and that was used for the kitchen area, and we had double bunk bed. My parents signed up to go back to Japan, and Dad came home from his work, and he said, "We're not going back." I tell you, I was the happiest girl. And he said he started over just after the war. Japan is in a chaos too. There probably won't be any work. We all belong to Canada. We were all born here. So he himself said he belongs to this country. We moved to Roseberry. He rented a piece of land, about 2 acres, I guess. It was all strawberries. And he even bought special plants from the coast. He decided he would sell some. People got to know his berry. Every summer when, the season came, they'd have their order in, and Dad would fill their orders. That was my dad's pride and joy. We wanted to forget about it, actually, as the years went by. So we never said anything to our kids either when they were growing up. But my daughter, one day when we were talking on the telephone, she says to me, "Mom, did you people have any discrimination?" And I said, "Oh yeah, we did." And she says, "Well, why didn't you say anything to us?" And I said to her, I said, "You know what, Karen, even if we told you, you wouldn't understand it." And I said we wanted to forget about it, so we didn't talk about it. And that sort of bothered me. So I asked my generation people that were around, if they talked to their kids, they never did either. So the younger ones, they didn't know about it, you see. Sure, I went to Japan in 1990 for a visit, but I still say Canada is our home. It's good to be a Canadian, is all I can say.